The 4 million babies born each year in this country are screened for dozens of rare genetic diseases. Now the government is launching a $25 million program to map a newborn baby's entire genome, or put another way, all of its DNA. That allows doctors to screen for thousands of conditions.
But the program is controversial. Dr. David Agus is a CBS This Morning contributor and professor of medicine at USC. Dr. Agus, good morning.
Good morning.
So what can this genome sequencing tell us?
Well, it tells you the blueprint of the baby, but more importantly, it could tell you today how they metabolize drugs, so it's not one size fits all. It could tell you, now we stick the heel of a baby and we look at metabolic diseases. This is a much more accurate way of looking at it. And I think even exciting is last night a great paper came out for the first time showing leukemia can be linked to a gene, and we can now say which child would have that and hopefully prevent those diseases.
What other kind of diseases?
Well, metabolic diseases, cancers, and we could also say what's going to happen later in their lifetime. And it's not saying it's deterministic. It's definitely going to happen. We can look at percentages. And the hope is we can start to study how parents react to that information, how kids do, and how we can actually prevent diseases.
You had your DNA mapped. You revealed it on the front page of the Journal.
Yes.
I mean, is this something you recommend? Nora's kids, I have kids. You had your kids' DNA mapped. Is this something you recommend?
Well, listen, I think information is power. And so you want to know what you're up against. And so the more you know, the more you can hopefully change your behavior and do the right thing. When I tested myself, I showed I was high risk for heart disease. Now I eat a good diet, probably better than I did before. I exercise, and it's a family affair.
I think the one thing some people might be concerned about, though, is whether this information could possibly be used against them or their kids. Is that a possibility?
It certainly was, and in 2008, President Bush passed GINA, G-I-N-A, the Genetic Non-Discrimination Act, which makes it illegal to actually discriminate on a job basis, on insurance basis, based on genetics. So there has yet to be a case, but it should not, in this country, be used against you.
We just showed this incredible list that goes through every disease, whether it's Crohn's disease, whether it's psoriasis, whether it's types of cancer, multiple sclerosis, the likelihood that you might have that. I have to ask you a question, though. Doesn't it become in some ways a mind game? If you know this about your own child, if you know this about yourself, that you get worried you may get one of these things. Do you know what I mean?
No question about it. And that's why the government did the right thing here. They're doing a study. So they're looking at parents and children saying, how do they react to the information? Because we have to figure out, sometimes it may be overwhelming, or there may be a better way to counsel them so that that doesn't happen. So I agree with you. This is something we have to use with caution. But that's why it's very exciting that our government say, listen, this technology is going to come dramatically down in price. We have to think forward. And we have to think forward now by saying what's going to happen.
And I know as a doctor, certainly you would argue that having this information can help you prevent these diseases, which in the end leads to a better life and probably less expensive medical care in the end.
We know that. And it changes behavior.
Yeah.
For 50 or $100 right now.
Yeah, $99 you can get one, right?
That's great.
Dr. David Agus, thank you very much.